Welcome to Cutting Edge Web Content Development, the podcast where we delve into the world of CMS systems and their crucial role in website and web content development. In each episode, we'll explore the reasons why founders, CEOs, CTOs, and CMOs of web content development companies need CMS systems to thrive in the digital landscape. Get ready to uncover the secrets behind successful website management, content creation, and seamless user experiences. Here's your host, Jonathan Ames.
Welcome to Cutting Edge Web Content Development, a podcast by Butter CMS. Today we're joined by Cagri Sarigoz, a seasoned growth and product leader with a diverse background in e-commerce, media, cybersecurity, and logistics. Currently, he leads SEO and AI initiatives at Citizen Shopper, an online marketplace for shipping hard-to-transport items. Welcome, Cagri.
Hey, Jonathan. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, tell us a little bit about your background. I mean, I was fascinated. Obviously, we're going to talk about, AI, and we're going to talk about your company, Talebot, and kind of how you integrated that in. But tell us what got you there. How did you get started off in this? And what are some of the projects you worked on over your career?
Yeah, I have a bit over 14 years of experience working over different industries. I had my bachelor's degree in electronics engineering. Then I had a master's in engineering management. After graduating, I had some engineering roles in defense industry. I worked for some of the biggest defense industry companies in Turkey. Then after a while, a couple of years after that, I moved to internet businesses, startups especially. I worked for a internet publisher. It was the biggest video publisher of Turkey, and then moved to another content publisher. I was doing search engine optimization, business intelligence, and digital marketing, a blend of roles because I was working on small teams. And then I moved to product management for a while. I worked for a cybersecurity company. And lately, for the last 4 years, I'm working for a two-sided marketplace named Citizen Shopper, which operates in the United States. And I started there as a growth person, then moved to search engine optimization. And recently, I have another responsibility, which is AI Officer, which means, I introduce AI and automation across the teams at Citizen Shopper. And while doing that, I co-founded a company named Intale AI, and where Talebot was our flagship product, and all happened in parallel. We are working on Talebot to, grow it as well.
That's an amazing background you have. I mean, from engineering and development and SEO, and now into AI. Tell us a little bit about Talebot. What was the initial vision behind this? Help people understand what it is.
It started when ChatGPT was released, and everyone started to use it. And I was also interested. First started using with some text-based generations. Then I came up with the idea to create some stories for my daughter. She was 6 years old back then. And then, started with some text, generating text and turning it into a voice by text-to-speech. And then, creating some images and merging all them together manually. So I started with doing it my daughter together. I was asking her some questions. Where would you want it to be? Is it Disneyland? Is it, Barbie Land? So, some questions. And also some characters. Back then she was liking Elsa, Frozen, so yeah, that's how I started. And at the same time, my co-founder, he was also doing the same for his children. I didn't know him. So I launched the very, very, very rough version of it in Turkey, and launched it and announced it in some of the social media in Turkey, and it got very popular. Interestingly, because back in the time there was no similar product, especially in Turkish. There was no product for doing that, and I was doing it for free. So yeah, I had hundreds of stories generated in that way. After that, one of our friends met each other. He told me, yeah, you should I should introduce you to this person, and then immediately became co-founders and started working on Talebot. And when building the company, creating the company, our main goal was using AI and other technologies to improve storytelling, and we started with our own pains, because telling stories to your children every night when you are tired, it's not a very easy job. So yeah, that's how it started.
That's a great story. I know I have a young daughter as well, and there's something magical about storytelling, especially when your children are very little. They don't care what the story is. They just want to hear lots of stories. And so, Talebot integrates this idea of AI together with this. There's visuals, there's audio. Great idea. So let's go into features. How did you decide, what are the essential features? Because I know a lot of people out there don't realize when you're talking about a SaaS or, some kind of software, it really is content. A lot of it is the content. So your features are your content. How do you decide which of those features are essential for your launch?
Yeah. So it started with what we have. So we had ChatGPT for creating text. And also we had text-to-speech libraries, text-to-speech services, which generates audio. And there are some new APIs coming up for image. They were not very good at the time. For example, Midjourney still doesn't have an API. So you need to find the right API to create that image. And video was almost impossible. So we start with what we can do. So we had text, audio, and image. So we started with that and created. The first version was a PDF. It has the image, a cover image at the top, and the text. Then we added the audio, and finally we merged this image and the audio and created a single image video. So it's a video, but the imagery doesn't change. But yeah, it's nice to share video, audio, all these different kinds of formats. And also, of course, while we are building it, both me and my co-founder have generated lots of stories for our children, for our friends. We shared with lots of people, to get feedback. And also, I got some good feedback from the first couple of hundreds users from Turkey. It was nice to see that all kinds of Turkish people from all over the world, some people from Germany was writing to me because people want to tell stories in their own language. So that's how it started. It's mostly based on needs and also what we can provide.
Features were determined by, the means of what's available there and the needs that are in the audience. I mean, certainly with kids, they love stories with pictures, especially the younger the kids are, the more pictures they want, so they can visualize it easily. So easy to understand. So let's talk about the learning curve for doing this. So backend development was something new to you, and you had to kind of learn how to connect these APIs together to get what you wanted. How did you navigate the learning curve for that?
Well, while we decide, okay, let's productize this idea. When we started, it was just an online form. You just enter information, and then after a while, you received an email with just the text and the audio, everything added on top of each other later. So while making those improvements, two main things helped me. First of them is ChatGPT. With time, ChatGPT had more coding, knowledge. It helped me, code better. For example, I had some Python knowledge, but very, just scripting, not very much, but, it helped me troubleshoot my errors, find different ways to make it run faster, because, we don't want to wait. We don't want parents to keep waiting for, half an hour, because the child needs to be, put to sleep. So ChatGPT was very influential. And the other one is I have been using a platform named Pipedream, which is an API orchestration tool. You connect different kinds of APIs, and in between you can write some code or, send a webhook request and wait for the response. So instead of running a server, I used these workflows. I built these workflows on Pipedream. So in our MVP, we had this Python code, some connections, pipe dream, and we didn't have any server running at the back initially. We were using just some different services and connecting them with this pipe dream workflows, and also with some coding, making it more more feasible.
So your beginning stack was ChatGPT and Pipe Dream and some text to speech. What other things did you have in your stack, and how did those help you?
Yeah, so for generating the text of story, we used ChatGPT API, and for image we used Stable Diffusion API, and for text to speech we use Azure text to speech, and then finally we use another service to create the PDF, because back at that time Pipedream doesn't have full Python support, and I wasn't able to create PDFs. So I was just connecting all kinds of different tools. If I was able to do it, I was doing it with Python because it works faster. And for video, at the beginning I was using another service named Headliner. It was generating video at a very late time. So at the first version, we weren't sending the video to the user. We were just saying, yeah, check our YouTube channel. A day later, you will see it.
Yeah, that's kind of how it starts. Is you put in. It sounds very much that you're building this like microservices. So as you see that there is a weak point in your feature set, you swap out one of the services with maybe a better one that can be faster or give you more features that you need. So when you're testing this, you've got your stack together, you've put it all together. What was your approach in testing, this initial version of Talebots and of gathering user feedback? How did you get people to give you feedback?
Yeah, so my best early adopter was my co-founder, Kaan. Kaan is an ex-product manager and growth director at Amazon. So he has great experience with coming up with requirements, features, and release cycles, those kind of stuff. How do we go to market? And he was doing some rigorous tests, testing everything, the order form, then the email sent, the notifications, and if the image was not all right, if it suits for example, based on the inputs, it might guess the demographics of the parent. So if the image generated was not aligning with that, so we had a problem. So there was always this kind of iterations from my co-founder. He was great at that. And also we had lots of feedback from people outside our close network, our family. We shared coupon codes everywhere for people to use it, try it. And since it's an interesting idea, people most tried it. Especially when I launched it, I announced it on Hacker News. We had lots of feedback, and luckily some people didn't use the coupon code; they just paid for it. So we had our first paid stories generated after the Hacker News launch.
Oh, that's amazing. So both internal feedback within your team, and also going outside to your family and friends, and then launching it to various forums where you could get feedback direct from users. Excellent.
Exactly.
Well, now usually I take a time in each discussion where I ask each of my guests some things that they've learned over the course of their career. If you could go back in a time machine, talk to your younger self right at the beginning of your career out of college, what advice would you give yourself?
Well, I would probably advise myself to spend more time with coding, especially because I was moving towards more managerial, business-related roles. I had a master's in engineering management. For example, I would probably advise myself to have a master's in maybe computer science or software engineering. That would be pretty helpful for me in these days.
Yeah, hands-on experience.
Yeah, exactly.
What about, where do you find inspiration? Are there any books or podcasts or conferences where you go and you find a lot of new ideas?
Yes. So one of the very first podcasts I started to listen, and that inspired me to enter into entrepreneurship, and also and also, development, some coding was Tim Ferriss' show. He had lots of different, kind of people, polymaths, people doing extreme stuff, and they were all passionate about their, what they are working on. And later then I started to listen How I Built This by Guy Raz. It was also a pretty good podcast. I had listened to lots of podcasts and also some audiobooks. They really helped me. For example, one of the audiobooks was 4-Hour Workweek from Tim Ferriss again. Yeah, it was especially very important for me about delegation, automation, the importance of those. So yeah, I think there were many podcasts and books that inspired my journey.
That's awesome. I know I like Tim Ferriss. I find that I get a lot of inspiration just by going outside of maybe just my particular specialty. And like you said, getting inspired by people who are passionate about what they're interested in. So tell us a little bit about, Talebot. What's the future of it? Where can people find it online?
Yeah, Talebot is currently available at talebotai.com. And currently we are providing bedtime stories. And recently we launched a new product for the Mother's Day. It was named Mama Rap. It was for generating rap songs for the mothers. Yeah, it was a funny idea, but yeah, it had some good traction. And finally, we were able to generate some videos. So the next phase for Talebot is creating more realistic, more videos with some action, not still videos, but maybe some stuff changing, maybe more than one image happening and some characters moving. Probably that will be our next phase with Talebot, having that video element that's with more activity on it.
Wow, that sounds fun. I know I have kids, so we're going to be checking it out. Cagri, if people want to connect with you personally online, they're like, wow, this guy's brilliant. I want to follow him on LinkedIn. Where could they reach you?
Yeah, they can just search for my name on LinkedIn and connect with me. I'm open to messages. My messages are open, DMs are open, and they can send me a connection request. I would probably approve that. So yeah, I would love to connect.
Excellent. Well, hey, I appreciate all of your insights on both developing Talebots, the technology stack, how you overcame some of the hurdles there, and wish you all the best with Talebots. I know we'll be following you, and thank you so much for coming on and sharing those.
Thank you very much, Jonathan.
Cutting Edge Web Content Development is brought to you by Butter CMS. To find out how you can build better with Butter, stop wasting dev time, and free your marketers from your legacy CMS, visit buttercms.com. Also, make sure to search for Cutting Edge Web Content Development in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. On behalf of the team here at Butter CMS, thank you for listening.